Lucifer Season 5B is finally here, and honestly, if you haven't binge-watched it already, what are you waiting for? With everything that happened in the season, it was quite hard to focus on all the details, so we decided to go through each of them and tell you what you might have missed from the show's latest episodes. Can you guess some of the moments? Let's get started, because here is Lucifer Season 5B, Everything You Missed. Number 10. KRISTOFF'S Gym. In the 11th episode, we can see Chloe and Lucifer walking into KRISTOFF'S gym, but if you pay closer attention, you can notice that some of the names around the door look familiar. The names present some of the clients that KRISTOFF has worked with, but they have all been part of Chloe's cases in the past. We have the cast of Lieutenant Diablo, the TV show version of Lucifer, as well as Holla Bay, a DJ who was murdered and his body was taken by a demon. All of the names have a connection to some of their cases, which, when you look at the name, Bodies by KRISTOFF, it definitely has a new meaning given that most of his clients that are shown are now dead. Number 9. Eve's APPLETINI. Given her name, Eve, it would only be obvious that her drink of choice would be an APPLETINI. Well, we've already seen Eve drinking this cocktail when she first appeared in Season 4, and in Season 5B, we can see her as she waits for her date to come, sitting and drinking an APPLETINI. The only difference is that this time around her drink is garnished with a slice of apple, which is a nice reference to her backstory, with the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. Eve has had her fair share of problems throughout the show, so when it came to her being together with Maze, this drink was the perfect cherry on top, or shall we say, apple on top.
I'll have an APPLETINI.
Number 8. Lucifer and God. We already knew that Lucifer had his daddy issues, as they're quite shown in the series, with Lucifer saying how bad of a father he was and that he never told him how much he loved him or appreciates him. It was only a matter of time when they would sit and talk about it all. Well, when God finally appeared, the two went on a family therapy to Linda, and what you might have missed is the book she had on her desk. The book, called How to Raise Successful People, shows that Linda is curious about her baby. But in this case, it's truly fitting to the two powerful people sitting on her couch. Just seeing the two sitting the same way on the couch shows just how similar the two are, which goes without saying that the phrase, like father like son, totally works in this situation.
Do you petty little children!
Number 7. Game of Thrones reference. In the scene where Michael tries to make Lucifer accept that he should be God and asks him to bend the knee, Lucifer pulls the most hilarious reference in the season. As he tries to bend the knee, he tells him how awful he is and jokes about his outfit, saying, "Is winter coming already?" This Game of Thrones reference isn't the first time Lucifer has said this phrase, but not only that, we can only see him dragging his chair at the family dinner, which reminded us of a Game of Thrones character that did the exact same thing. Of course, if you haven't seen Game of Thrones, this won't make sense to you, but just take a look at how similar both scenes are. Number 6. ZX3. Back in Season 2, Chloe was on the verge of dying from a chemical reaction, and at that time, Lucifer decided to go back to hell to manage to find the antidote for the reaction. The antidote contained a chemical called ZX3, which according to Ella is super rare and super illegal. Well, in Season 5, we get to see Chloe and Lucifer chasing after a suspect, only to figure out that the suspect thought he was being chased for the use of ZX3 in racing. In the conversation, Lucifer said that he's familiar with it, which took us back to the moment when Chloe was poisoned. The situation was quite interesting given that the murder that happened in that season was due to ZX3, the same chemical that saved Chloe's life in Season 2.
Wow, look who's back. You didn't die after all. That makes one of us.
Number 5. Egg sandwiches. When Michael stabbed Chloe in the Season 5 finale, it was a moment we never saw coming. But what we didn't see was that she would actually die. It was probably one of the saddest moments of the entire season. After her death, we can see Chloe and her father in heaven sharing an egg sandwich. If that sounds familiar to you, it's because it is. Back in the first seasons of the series, we can see Chloe and Trixie eating egg sandwiches, and we can also see a scene where Lucifer steals one from Trixie as well. Even though we were sad that she died, this moment truly made us remember that heartfelt moment when she told Trixie that she used to make egg sandwiches with her father.
She forgot she had the Althea makeup on. And no one in the PTA was brave enough to tell her that the entire—
Detective! Detective!
Number 4. Pomegranates. When God arrived on Earth, he made sure to make himself human, so when Chloe asked him on some intel on who did the crime, expecting that he's God and knows everything, he said that he's human and doesn't know. To that, Lucifer made a joke saying, Oh, he does inexplicable things from time to time. Marsupials, pomegranates, the gallbladder. If you didn't quite get that joke, it is believed by some that the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden were actually pomegranates and not apples. This fruit can also be seen in Charlotte, the goddess office, as she had 3 paintings of pomegranates hanging in her office.
I actually don't know. I made myself human. Isn't that exciting?
Number 3. Deal with the Devil. At the start of episode 9, we can see Lucifer playing the piano and singing Footloose. But did you notice the guy dancing in Lux and pointing at Lucifer? Well, he's actually the bodyguard that Lucifer made a deal with in the mid-season finale. The deal was that Lucifer would make him dance, or in his own words, I'll hire you and make your Footloose dreams come true. So when we saw him dancing in Lux to Footloose, we got to see that Lucifer is indeed a man of his word and makes sure he makes each promise come true. It was probably a very hard thing to notice in the scene, but once you see it, there's not a way to unsee it. Number 2. Lucifer's desk. When Lucifer took his dad, God, on a tour around the precinct, he was quite shocked at why Lucifer doesn't have his own throne, office, or even a desk. God made the perfect response, pointing to Dan, saying because he has a desk, that maybe one day Lucifer could rise to his level and get one. Lucifer was definitely not happy to hear that and was furious as to why God would even try and compare him to Dan. But what hurt more is that back in season 2, he asked Chloe for his own desk next to hers, but she turned him down in the same second. Even though her relationship in season 2 wasn't the same as it is now, not giving him a desk definitely made Lucifer feel a certain way, given that he has his own throne in hell.
Yeah, I should get my own desk.
Not happening.
Right next to yours would probably be best.
Definitely not happening.
Number 1. Into the Lux. The reason why God arrived on Earth wasn't revealed in the same episode, but when he said that he's retiring, people were shocked and confused, as that could only mean one thing. Who'll be God? Well, before he even retired, he got to spend time with his kids and finally say what is on his mind. After looking for his father's approval and love all this time, Lucifer finally got to hear those words from him. The goddess also appeared, and God finally apologized for not being there for her and being busy with work. God and the goddess exit the world and go off to live in the goddess universe, and they do that by walking into the light right in Lucifer's club. All of that happened under the sign Lux, the Latin word for light.
Time to go. My universe needs me. Thank you, son.
On a related note, we wanted to know, is there anything you've noticed that we missed? Let us know in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more amazing videos such as this one, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.